Hey y'all, so now that Founders Day is over, I think I have some things that's been on my mind that I want to discuss. So I never thought that I would make a post necessarily about denouncing, but I have some thoughts because I don't think that this denouncing moment that we're in this very public display of removing oneself from a sorority or D9 organization in general, primarily sororities, is separate from the political climate that we're in, the political time that we're in, what we're watching societally, culturally, amidst American imperialism, as well as Christian extremism, Christian fanaticism, and evangelicism. So I think denouncing publicly in this current time makes sense based on what we're witnessing. Now, for me, I'm a non-Christian member of a D9, and I have not been Christian for a while. What this brings up for me is that I think it's really fascinating how there are people who are denouncing these organizations very publicly because they're saying that they're not really rooted in Christian tenets, even though they are. But there are also members of these organizations who are not Christian who have actually felt a bit invisible, sometimes disregarded, or have our beliefs misunderstood while we are in these organizations. So it feels like there's like these opposite things happening. And I know that people will say, oh, well, you joined a Christian foundation organization, like you can't complain about that. And it's not that I'm necessarily complaining about it. And I understand the history, I understand the tradition, and I value that. I respect that. I'm here for that. That's no problem. But if we are in these organizations that say that they accept people of all different faith practices and traditions, what will it mean to sort of be a little bit more inclusive to members who are not Christian? I think it was 2 years ago, the North Atlantic Regional Conference was the first time that there was a specific place for Muslim sorors to pray during the conference, during Salat, I believe it's called. And I think for something to have taken over 100 years to have a place for Muslim sorors to pray, you know, it's like, what are we doing? Yes, we have an organization that is rooted in Christian tenets, which is why the denouncing doesn't fully make sense to me. But again, it makes sense based on our political climate. But then we also have people of these sororities and fraternities too who are not Christian, who can feel really ostracized and, like I said, misunderstood for our own beliefs, and not really feeling like there's a space for us to do our prayers or to wear what we wear or whatever that may be, or to not have to always be inundated with a certain type of faith tradition that is not just rooted in honoring the tradition of the org, but just generally because Christianity is the primary religion where we are. I just wanted to kind of share my side as someone who is witnessing these denouncings, is also a member of a D9, but then also has had experiences with people who I think just could not understand what it meant to be non-Christian, and quite frankly didn't respect my religion and religious views and beliefs. So let me know what y'all think. And I also want to add, I wonder in some ways how these very public denouncings are going to impact organizations, because we've never experienced this before. Like, this has never happened before because we've never had platforms to denounce like this. I wonder if that will impact how we are portraying ourselves as being, oh no, we are Christian. You know, I feel like it could make people want to amp it up. Oh no, we're Christian. Let's turn it up. So to remind y'all, we're very Christian. We don't want to ostracize Christians while there are still members of the organization who've been talking about, hey, we are not Christian. So there's other things to do. There's other ways to respect faith. We understand racism. Our orgs, we understand sexism. I think we've been making strides to understand homophobia, praise God. But do we understand religious intolerance and acceptance? I think we have some ways to go. And as a reminder that we can have different faith practices, but share a common goal: sisterhood and service.